You can't do that? You can't do that, can you? Kazuma-sama, the Reaper's assassin. I feel as though I'm in a nightmare. I can hardly believe it either, but on the other hand, Kazuma isn't in the habit of making up stories. I have such a terrible sense of foreboding. If something awful has happened to Judge Jigoku, then I feel as though things will only spiral further and further out of control. I felt it from the moment I stepped into the courthouse this morning. It's again the heavy courthouse theme. That strange sensation that we were careering towards a foregone conclusion. Well, in the worst case, we might only have 30 minutes left. Unfortunately though, I don't think there's anything we can do but wait now. We are out of options. Actually, there may be one last hand we can play. Or rather, one last ear. Of course. The little Mr. Shomsto that Iris gave us? What are you talking about? How would that help? How would that help? If for some reason you completely run out of options in the trial today, then just pull this little Hurley's ears as hard as you possibly can. What are you talking about, Iris? This is supposed to be my last straw? Perhaps now is the time. I'd be so disappointed when nothing happens. What should I do? Pull Harley's ears or not? Are we seriously calling it Harley? I really want to leave it, really. I can't be disappointed further. Okay, you know what? I'll be saving. The game, of course, wants me to pull its ears, so I'm just gonna say, leave it. This is one of Iris's inventions. There's no telling what might happen. For all I know, it could cause a huge explosion. I'm not sure you should be thinking like that, Mr. Naruhodo. Compared to the trial ending immediately after this recess, a huge explosion might be preferable. What are you talking about, Susato? I'm not sure you should be thinking like that, Mr. Sato. But I suppose you're right. If there was ever a time for taking a risk, it's now. Here goes nothing then. I'm going to do it. Good luck, Mr. Naruhodo. I'll be standing far away from you. No looking back. Here! Ow! That scream sounded like Mr. Sholmes. Mr. Sholmes? Where are you? Here, my dear fellows, here! It's the felt doll talking! Pull the ears again, Mr. Naruhodo, as hard as you can. Alright then, I'll put all my strength into it. Here! Ow! Please, my dear fellows, you don't need to pull my ear off. Mr. Sholmes. Mr. Sholmes, where are you? Myself and my trusty partner are presently in the first-class cabin area of the SS Grouse. The SS Grouse? She left Dover last night after the final pieces of cargo were loaded. We are currently docked at Dunkirk, but due to be underway again in half an hour. You've taken a ship to France? Please, even with my athletic prowess, I would struggle to jump the Straits of Dover. After we left Baker Street last night, we hurried by cab to the station and by train to the port, in order to board this vessel in time. So you mean you'd already worked it out? That the steamship was where everything really took place? Mr. Naruhodo, pray what is my name? Sherlock Holmes, world-famous great detective. Recited to perfection, well done. You're a genius, Mr. Sholmes. That's the only word for it. What is Sato-san doing? Ow, ow, ow! Mr. Sato, gently with his genius's ear, please. Oh my, I'm ever so sorry. If I may, Sholmes. Ah, there you are, Mikotoba. You may remember that it was in fact I who made the connection to the SS Grouse. Oh, at Scotland Yard yesterday, when we examined that notebook and I recalled my steamship ticket. But of course it was my dear fellow. And not once did I controvert that fact, I merely had our court-bound companions utter my name. Oh, you devil! Yes, you did, didn't you? You've just entered a recess. The trial resumes in 30 minutes from now. And if we're unable to present any new leads then, I'm afraid to say... Do not fret, please. It's for precisely that purpose that my partner and I have made this journey. I have no doubt we shall have welcome news for you within the half hour. Thank you, Mr. Sholmes. That would be wonderful. Until later, then. Yes, you'll be hearing from us if you're not in touch first. Ow, ow, ow! I shan't be hearing anything if you keep tugging my ear in that mindless fashion. Whatever was the idea behind making the receiver operated in that way in the first place, Sholmes? Why the deuce would I know? It's Iris's invention, not mine. Iris is a genius. As I know how much you enjoy being the hero of the hour, Sholmes, we have but half that now before the grouse puts to sea again. If we don't conclude our investigations rapidly, we shall find ourselves in Naples before long. There are times, Mikotoba, when you make a surprising amount of sense. So, let us begin. Oh, are we playing Sholmes now? Are we playing Mikotoba? First class cabin number 2, yes, this is the one. But I don't believe an investigation of the cabin is going to be plain sailing. That crewman standing in front of the door is an angry-looking fellow. Did he change his hair? He looks kinda different. Why are you loitering here? Who are you? My dear fellow, do you not recognize a world-famous great detective when you see one? The question really ought to be, who are you? Do you not recognize world-traveling great thriller Chicken Stroganoff when you see... Oh, is this like the other one's brother? The other Stroganoff? Great detective? I don't think so. Do you see that, Mikotoba? It would appear that this man is a devoted follower of mine. What? What does it say, Sholmes? Goodness me, is that a tattoo? That says Sholmes. I must say, while such adoration is flattering, naturally it does leave me a little cold. What are you talking about? Leave now. How distressing. My loyal devotee knows me only by my name and not by appearance. And yet I already know a great deal about you, sir. You have a brother, I believe. Like yourself, he's a shipman. Currently traveling the world aboard a Russian steamship, in fact. How could you know this? Elementary, my dear Mikotoba. I'm sure it was. 3 days ago, I was bound for London aboard this ship, you see. We're looking for one of my fellow passengers, a man by the name of Jigoku. There is no one with this name aboard. But we know that he purchased a ticket for passage. What? Did he leave London? Ah, you mean Easterman. He left ship 2 hours ago. Here at Dunkirk. He said something about emergency, I think. What? What? Are you sure? So Seijiro's realized that we are after him, has he? We are after him? They are after him? What do you mean? He's not a criminal. His cabin is the one behind you. We should like to investigate, please.
No, I have orders not to let even mouse inside.
Mikotoba, be a good man and draw the sailor's attention away, would you? Make up some excuse so that he leaves the area. He's just right there!
Doesn't great detectives see that even sailors have ears, both left and right?
Curses! The plan is ruined!
And you have only yourself to blame, I'm afraid, Sholmes. Forget it, the cabin door is locked. Even if I am not here, you cannot get inside.
Mikotoba, I'm sure you haven't forgotten my special talent, have you? Huh?
Opening any lock?
Within a mere 5 seconds. So if you'd be so kind as to afford me the requisite time, old friend, in your typically accommodating manner.
How could I refuse such a typically unappealing request, old friend?
So I need to distract that bully sailor for 5 seconds, do I? Or I'm playing Mikotoba. Good man, so the game is afoot. What is this now? A point-and-click adventure? I guess. It has always been a point-and-click adventure.
That's the way back to the deck, but we certainly can't give up on this now. That's a speaking tube for members of the crew to communicate with one another around the ship. If I could just persuade our stocky sailor friend that he needed to use it. Sholmes could unlock the door whilst he was distracted. The question is how. Ah, the switch for the electrical lights. Perhaps if I were to turn off the lights, the crewmen wouldn't be able to see what we were doing.
What? Leave it alone. That sounds ridiculous.
No, I think not. That would never work, surely. I need to concoct another distraction.
I guess we can see what happens, right? Flick the switch.
Ah, what is happening? Where is light?
No, Sholmes, no! Sholmes can't see either.
Huh, nobody there.
That was a close shave. Quite a neck you have, stumbling so violently in an apparent empty corridor.
Do be quiet, Sholmes. I shall have to think of another approach.
Oh, that didn't work? I thought that worked. The alarm, obviously, right?
That's another first-class cabin, and yet its door is completely unguarded.
Empty as well. I had a quick look inside earlier. Though I confess I didn't investigate the wardrobe. There may very well be a young Japanese fellow inside and perspiring merrily.
If you're referring to Naruhodo, you know very well that he's currently perspiring merrily in court.
Does it not strike you, though, Mikotoba? Why the man stands guard only in front of this cabin when both are apparently vacant? Isn't it obvious?
This must be a mousetrap, I think. Perhaps I could distract the crewman's attention with this somehow.
Okay. Try it.
Choo-choo. That sounds like Big Mouse and Trap. Choo-choo. I will bring bucket of water later and put out of misery.
Did I just make mouse sounds? Mice sounds?
I don't like the sound of that.
In any case, my dear fellow, that was quite unconvincing. Only Japanese mice make a chew sound. Yeah, that's so true.
Oh really, Sholmes, and pray tell, what sound do Russian mice make?
PP, naturally, although also quite unconvincing, I readily admit. So go ahead, Mikotoba, do a PP this time.
No, thank you. I'm sure I can come up with an alternative solution.
The mousetrap is right next to the sailor.
This would appear to be an alarm bell. All hell would break loose if that thing were to ring. The whole crew would know about it. Set it off. Here goes nothing then. Pardon me in advance. You, what are you doing? If we were at sea, you would be very bad. That would be very bad problem.
What is going on there? Seaman Stroganov reported once.
Sorry, sir. Nothing to report. It was just a stupid trick. No, not by me, but what famous... No, as I told you. Now, Sholmes, no.
Done.
Not even 5 seconds, eh?
Well, don't stand there gawping at my brilliance, Mikotoba. In we go.
Oh, yes.
Wow. We are... I mean... I'm sure Stroganov will come back with more sailors, right? And then... I don't know what'll happen.
Good gracious.
It would appear that the occupant of this cabin did indeed disembark rather hurriedly.
Those clothes on the floor there, they're Seishiro's without question.
Well, it seems we are just a little too late.
Yes, by about 2 hours.
Wait, what? Is Seishiro the one who killed Genshin? No way! No way, he's the judge! Still, whilst we're here, we should investigate thoroughly. There may well be 2 hours worth of clues to find in here.
But that burly crewman may return at any moment, Sholmes.
Indeed he may, which makes this all the more thrilling. Okay. This is bad. The wardrobe?
According to the report I was given, Naruhodo was concealing himself in Azuki's wardrobe.
Indeed he was, and it was of a similar size to this one. Ah, you must climb inside yourself, my dear fellow.
What? Whatever for?
It was the site of my first fateful meeting with Mr. Naruhodo. You can experience the moment for yourself now, complete with my dramatic rhetoric. Come along now, in you go. This will only take a moment. We don't have time.
Really, Sholmes, surely you can't. You can just tell me what you said.
Well, I uttered some brilliant remark and opened the wardrobe to reveal the stowaway murderer.
I think I'll just read about it in The Adventures of Sherlock Sholmes. These are the rules of passage. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. Additionally, there are severe punishments for stowing away in wardrobes and or travel cases.
Genius. Wait, but how did Kazuma bring his katana then? I fear the rules have increased since I last read them. Probably just my imagination.
What about the fact that they are not straight on the wall? Doesn't that strike you?
You may be right. Probably just your imagination though. A trifle. And you know what I always say, Mikotoba. There's nothing important about trifles.
It's probably just my imagination, but I think that might be slightly off.
The books are in disarray as well, but they're not falling in one direction though.
Plenty of reading materials to keep passengers occupied. I found a mixture of classic literature and easy reading to be most satisfactory, I must say.
Tisk, whoever stocked his bookcase was a hopeless heretic. There's no copy of The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, my dear fellows.
I'm afraid it's just me, but no, you're quite right. More blasphemous than overlooking the Bible.
I shall leave a copy behind. I just happen to have one with me.
You're a true missionary of the Church of Great Detectives, aren't you?
There's a glass of water. Oh, what happened here?
There's a speaking tube here, look, though it's been stoppered with some cloth. So the voices of the crewmen on the bridge aren't an annoyance, I suppose.
Oh, indeed, so that the voices in this cabin aren't heard elsewhere.
Ah, could something have happened in here that was for no one else's ears, do you think?
Either that, or it could be to prevent snakes from entering.
That's really become a favorite case of yours, hasn't it?
Yeah, someone was with them. They discussed some secret stuff. But there's only one glass of water. Quite the exquisite glass, I must say. See here how it is.
Is something wrong, Sholmes? You suddenly trailed off.
Ice, Mikotoba, ice. With what opulence the first-class passengers enjoy. Chilled drinks.
Pardon?
Could it be that the steamship is equipped with an electrically refrigerated cold room, do you think?
Well, it is a luxury liner after all. They have enormous refrigerators for storing all sorts of lavish produce as well as ice. On our voyage from Japan, we enjoyed culinary delights from all over the world.
Suddenly, Mikotoba, the sight of you is making my mouth water. The sight of me?
I haven't taken on the flavor of the food I ate, you know.
A refrigerator. The body could have been on the ship.
This is the waste paper basket, look, and there's still rubbish inside.
Indeed? Then let us pry. I've discovered recently I have a penchant for exploring the contents of others' waste paper baskets.
I sincerely hope only for your work.
Here we have a notice issued to passengers from 3 days ago.
3 days ago, the night before we arrived in London then. When I was still aboard myself.
And when Gregson was aboard it. Evacuation drill. Notice.
What? Oh yes, there was an evacuation drill, I remember now.
Can you let me read it?
For our safety and security, all first-class passengers were constantly under the watchful eye of the crew, so it was a welcome relief to have some privacy for once.
I can't look at my evidence. Great. So I don't know what was on the thing. That's a very sizable trunk indeed.
Seishore is partial to all things large.
And a rather clumsy fellow if he failed to notice he'd left it behind.
Perhaps he left it on purpose. It's lighter than you might think, but still a hindrance to a speedy escape.
Pity it's locked, so we can't look inside.
Surely 5 seconds from now the situation will be quite different, though.
Sadly not. It has a 7-digit combination lock. And I'm not in a morose enough mood to walk through all the combinations at present. Unfortunate. That's a substantial heap of clothes on the floor. An overcoat, shirts, a dressing gown.
Momohiki work trousers, a tanzen robe, a haramaki waistband, clearly the clothing of a Japanese man.
And clearly, Japanese men are unaccustomed to the culture of the wardrobe.
It looks to me as if they've been thrown in a heap like that in something of a hurry.
Indeed, you could help yourself to a Japanese man's shirt, perhaps. I'm sure you made mention of packing too few.
I'd very likely drown in one of Seishiro's shirts. No, I'll just buy in any extras I need, I think.
Okay, but that was everything. Right? Oh, wait. This thing moved from here to there. Maybe to cover up some secret stash?
The wall is a slightly different color just here, do you see?
Indeed, what you have observed arises when a frame that has been hanging for some time is removed. Perhaps your friend is an art thief?
No, there's a bold deduction worthy of a great detective, I'm sure.
He may very well be the elusive thief who has been plaguing France's galleries of late.
I think perhaps we should focus our attentions elsewhere, Sholmes, don't you? That outline on the wall. I feel as though I might have spotted something of a similar shape and size elsewhere.
Oh! Hello.
You are still here. Able Seaman Stroganoff, hello again.
I was beginning to think you'd never materialize.
You are waiting for me.
Of course, I was expecting you to burst in with a hearty Russian profanity far sooner.
I was in trouble with Tepden because of your trick.
Poor innocent chicken. Chicken!
It is all your fault.
Oh no, wait.
It is all your fault. Ship is leaving port soon. Get off now.
Of course, we shall disembark presently, my dear fellow, but first, there's something that must be done.
What are you talking about?
Why, naturally, the debunking of your deceit and the bearing of the truth.
Kagoi?
I'm afraid I see through your lies. For one thing, Mr. Jigoku has not yet left this vessel at all.
Ugh.
And for another, my dear Seaman Stroganoff, you know exactly where the man is even as we speak, don't you?
How can you... Good gracious, Sholmes, you mean you've worked it out, all of it?
It's really been too long, hasn't it, old friend? 10 years, no less. So, would you care to join me for a dance of my inimitable logic and reasoning?
Nothing would please me more. What is this?
We have but minutes until the vessel puts to sea, no games now. Ooh, Sholmes and his partner. Time is of the essence. Mr. Stroganoff, allow me to remind you of your earlier claim. You told us that Jigoku left the ship some 2 hours ago.
That is what I said.
Sadly, that was a rather clumsy lie. You see, there's something in this room that quite clearly contradicts it.
What?
Ah, yes, of course. I see you've noted it too, Mikotoba. Then please do take the lead. What in this cabin shows the impossibility of Jigoku having disembarked 2 hours ago? Let's see what the last 3 years have done to your observational skills then, Mikotoba.
It's been 10 years since we last did this, Sholmes, not 3.
Why, of course it has, quite. Now, all the clues are in here for your eyes to see. But as I always say, you must not merely look, but observe. Observe and the answers become clear. So, impress me.
I think I can manage that.
The ice.
Take that!
Whoa! Mikotoba?
Perhaps you should have cleared away that glass.
I didn't know that was one of your skills. How curious that the ice shouldn't have melted despite it being abandoned 2 hours ago. Ah! It would appear that a man was here in this very cabin until moments before our arrival. With this well-chilled glass in hand.
Get your mind off the refreshments, Sholmes.
One might even conclude that somebody informed him of our boarding. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Stroganoff?
But why would Seishiro run from us?
Before we consider that question, allow me to confirm one small matter. Would I be correct in saying that these first-class cabins on the SS Grouse are the same ones in which you and Mr. Jigoku were accommodated on your voyage from Japan?
That's right, they are. I was in the cabin next door, and Seishiro was, yes, 50 days in this very cabin during our voyage.
As I suspected, for you see, there are traces in this cabin of a dark secret that Mr. Jigoku had tried.
What traces? I know nothing about this.
This is news to you, is it, Mr. Stroganoff?
Sholmes, what exactly are you getting at?
As I said, there are traces in this cabin of some nefarious activity. Something that appears out of place, which I'm quite sure won't have escaped your notice.
Something out of place in here?
That's the key to this, Mikotoba. The remnants of a dark deed are being masked by something quite incongruous. I must say, I didn't foresee ever doing this dance with you again, Mikotoba.
No, quite, but life is full of unexpected twists and turns, as we well know. Now then, let's see if I can't uncover the truth here.
Yes, you have the floor, my dear fellow. The remnants. What's rather awkwardly hiding the traces of a crime? I mean, it has to be the rules of passage, right?
Take that!
Yes, the rules of passage in this frame here, they are obviously out of place. The way they're hanging crooked on the wall, as if they were put there in a hurry.
Yes, as I'm sure you've already concluded. That frame was originally over there. The shape and size are a perfect match.
You are right. When did frame move?
Hardly the most observant of crewmen are you, Mr. Stroganoff. I would think your captain is quite justified in having reservations about your reliability.
Oh dear, that really seemed to touch a nerve. So,
Mikotoba, why don't you lift that frame off the wall?
That looks like a bullet hole. What? Who has been shooting walls?
I see, the projectile has been removed. Clearly the careful occupant of this room has already disposed of it. Now then, Mr. Stroganoff. I have the distinct impression that you're attempting to shield that occupant.
I don't know what you are talking about. Why would I try to protect the Eastern stranger?
So we're talking about the same man, I see. Good. Nice. I'm sure we can get to the bottom of this in no time, aren't you? Because there's some very noteworthy evidence that explains the reason why you're lying for the man. Yes, you've been told to keep up this pretense, as clearly shown by...
I really don't know how to approach this one, Sholmes.
My dear Mikotoba, simply keep first principles in mind, study your subject from every angle, and I'm quite sure you'll see it. In fact, I'd put a wager on it.
So I'm to glare at the fellow from all sides? Well, I can certainly do that. He's very easy on the eyes.
Oh ho ho! Wad of banknotes. Wow. Someone's rich. Chunky arms. Looking good there. But no, I can't.
Take that!
It's almost too obvious for words.
Quite. The universal language of the world. Money.
Ah!
And I'd wager.
That the some following question is Seishiro Jigoku, yes? So I presume you realize what this means. There are clear signs that a crime has been committed in this cabin. And the way you're going, sir, you'll find yourself accused of being an accomplice. But...
I believe you know, Mr. Stroganoff. You know where Mr. Jigoku is hiding at this precise moment in time. Aha! As always, Mikotoba, in matters of deduction, the furtive glance is your unfaltering ally.
Yes, I think you're onto something there, Sholmes. You found a chink in this burly fellow's armor.
We need only follow the man's gaze to know where our prey is hiding. The slightest flicker of the pupils, a minutely delayed blink. Nothing escapes my attention, even that which is barely perceptible.
You could hardly call this barely perceptible, Sholmes. The man turned his entire head. It's not exactly what you describe as a furtive glance, is it? It's almost too obvious.
It's a video game after all. We shall let your tapping toes decide, my dear fellow. Don't tell me he's inside the trunk. This is so... There's no way. He's inside the trunk? He does not fit inside the trunk.
Take that!
You turned immediately to look at this large trunk, didn't you? The truth is, Seishiro Jigoku was unable to escape from the ship in time, and is, at this very moment, doing his best to stifle his breath inside his trunk.
If he still has a breath to take, I fear he may be running dangerously low on air. I imagine he didn't count on us making a nuisance of ourselves for quite so long. I think it would be in everyone's best interest for us to open the trunk as quickly as possible.
But how can we? Are you forgetting about a combination lock? We don't know the 7-digit code.
The combination lock can't be opened from the inside. Therefore, there must have been an arrangement for somebody to open it after our departure.
Of course.
In short, before Jigoku hid himself inside that trunk, he must have told somebody the 7-digit number for the lock. As I'm sure you can confirm, Mr. Stroganoff.
Yes. No, I know nothing about combination code.
Don't move a muscle, my good seaman. Now, Mikotoba, would you do the honors and open the trunk? Oh, Sholmes, that's not Sholmes at all. These are numbers. We have 523 5231045. 5231045. Can I remember this?
How on earth do you expect me to?
It's a 7-digit number, remember. Quickly now, we have little time. Yes. Oh, okay. 5 2 3 1 0 4 5, right? That's it? Oh, I can review the scene. Okay, that's easy then.
Take that!